Welcome in. Thanks for joining us for the WHHI Daily News, where we strive to bring you more Lowcountry news more often. I'm Bob Stevens. About the only bit of history Scotty Scheffler did not make this past weekend was breaking Brian Gay's 15-year-old record for an April Heritage score of 20 under. His first bogey all week on the last hole Monday morning after a storm-delayed, darkness-postponed, dominant Heritage performance. We'll hear more from the new champion later on in this half hour. He finished at 19 under par, 3 shots ahead of RBC ambassador Sahith Theegala, for whom an overnight delay ended up making him more than $1 million between the tie for second he was in overnight and the solo second he grabbed with a 30-foot birdie putt on his first hole Monday morning. 9 players had to come back Monday after the PGA Tour decided to play on schedule Sunday, despite their own forecast of storms, a 2.5-hour rain delay, and then darkness. We will hear more from RBC champion, again, Scotty Scheffler, later this hour. The U.S. Senate is expected to pass and send on to President Biden the foreign aid bills passed by the House over the weekend. Lowcountry Congresswoman Nancy Mace voted against aid for Ukraine, complaining about prioritizing that war over the issues on the U.S. border and calling Ukraine aid a, quote, tax dollar incinerator. She did, though, vote also against legislation forcing TikTok to be sold to American owners in the next year or be shut down. She did support aid to Israel and Taiwan. All 4 measures passed overwhelmingly. There are, believe it or not, still people in court over the January 6th Capitol riot. 26-year-old Tyler Bradley Dykes of Bluffton has pleaded guilty to 2 felony counts of assaulting, resisting, and impeding officers, one of whose riot shields, he used as a dangerous weapon. He did all that in federal court. He was accused of being at the front of the line of protesters that broke through fencing, marched up the Capitol steps, and assaulted officers. It's believed he's the only Beaufort County resident of 26 statewide who've been charged in the riot. He will face a sentencing hearing in July and is expected to receive about 5 years in prison. Alec Murdaugh even made news during Heritage Week. His lawyers have filed a 1-sentence notice announcing their intent to appeal his 40-year federal prison term for admitting to financial crimes. Judge Richard Gergel did exceed the usual sentencing guidelines when dealing with Murdaugh, saying he deserved a longer sentence because he used his position of trust to prey on, quote, extremely vulnerable victims, end quote, likening it to the notorious fraudster Bernie Madoff. Murdaugh admitted he stole nearly $11 million from his law firm and clients. He's also appealing his murder conviction that came with 2 life sentences and has agreed to a 27-year state sentence for his financial crimes that, even in a best-case scenario, will keep him in jail until he's 77 years old. Beginning this week, the city of Beaufort removing 4 large trees from its evergreen cemetery to protect the live oaks that are endangered there. City arborists say there are 4 palm trees being removed near the cemetery's entrance that are rubbing the live oak limbs and could eventually wear away the part of the oak trees that produces new bark, eventually killing the oaks. The palms will be cut down and then the stumps grinded up rather than trying to transplant those trees. The city does not want grave sites disturbed. For more details on these stories and other Lowcountry news, we invite you to visit the sources listed on your screen. Well, we all know about the weather during Heritage Weekend. Now that we are out from behind it, a little cool spell on Monday. How long will that last? Maria Soden?
Thanks, Bob. Yep, so taking a look ahead, it is going to be sunny this week, but we are going to be seeing cooler temperatures with the highs only getting into the upper 60s and 70s. So taking a look at Tuesday, it's going to be sunny with Hilton having a high 68, a low 52, Bluffton's at a high 70, a low 47, and Beaufort's in a high 69 and a low 48. The sunrise for Tuesday is going to be at 6:44 and sunset's going to be at 7:58. Taking a look at the tides, high tide's going to be at 9:38 a.m. and low tide's going to be at 4:51 p.m. Taking a look into the rest of the week, Wednesday it's going to be sunny with the highs in the upper 70s, lows in the 50s. Then come Thursday, it's going to be sunny to partly cloudy with a passing shower. Highs are going to be in the mid-70s, lows are going to be in the 60s and 50s. And then come Friday, it's going to be sunny to partly cloudy again with the highs in the 70s and lows in the 60s. That's it for today. Let's send it back to the desk.
When we come back, kids are back in school. We're going to talk with the principal at River Ridge Academy. We're also going to hear from RBC Heritage champion Scotty Scheffler and his post-tournament news conference. Up next, Bluffton Self-Help talks about stocking the market. Stay with us.